It's beginning to feel a lot like... Nah, we just want the exhaust. Good morning. Even though I know that I did a quick little couple clips and before we even started this good morning, I just feel like it's official that once I get into the car and I hit the good morning, it says it all right there. So the way that we're feeling, the way that we're going, and the way that we are at this moment right now is exactly that. Sorry, I was on my phone. Co-parents on the other line wants to know when Vicente's gonna be home, and that should be as long as it takes me from this moment to the house, and I'm gonna only go like 20 miles an hour to keep Vicente with me as long as I can. Damn it. Let's go. Yo, what's up guys? So I know you guys have been asking for another LP video, and I don't think I would do it justice unless I broke it into segments, because there is so much that comes down to when you are a good LP and a great LP and then a bad LP. And we talked about in my one situational experience that the bad LPs are usually the LPs that are not trained well, and it has to, and it's never your fault. Understand that it's never your fault. It has to do with the training that the company puts into building or successioning their team players, like their players, right? It'd be like if I gave somebody on my team a basic rundown of the job and then fired him for him not getting results. It's like I have to essentially give him every absolute thing that he is going to need, and not expect that he's gonna have any kind of common sense for that job function, that job role, that job duties, or those job duties. And I think that that's where it comes down to the fact that I have to break it down in stages. I have to give you steps and tools, and if you are able to already use the toolkit or the previous vlogs that I have, you're probably so far ahead of the game than some of the other people that want me to specifically say LP, because when it comes down to it, LP is all metaphorical. You have to be able to assume based off of the indicators, based off of events, based off of a lot of different things, right? And it feels like a dance, but it's the truth. Like everything has to relate to one another, and if anything does not match up with what you see or what is happening, sometimes you have to just let it go. Other times you have to be able to just move forward and stick with it. There's been times, and here's my example to you, there's been times where I've had an ORC group where they would come in, they'd be in your building 20 minutes, you would never even know that they were there. And then I've had the opposite, where I've had ORC groups that spend 2 hours in your building and are even able to change and have LP agents not even realize. That's the kind of shit that I'm talking about. Those are the kind of things that you feel like, in order for other people to understand, in order for other people to be able to visualize and see those things, I have to break it down into steps, or I have to break it down into each individual tool. Like if I'm going to go through and make an LP series, and this is really important for you guys to understand, because as I go through this series, it is not going to make you a better LP agent if you're not able to apply and trust the fact that all of my other vlogs have some type of attribute or skill that is going to make you a better LP agent. It's just straight up, because everything that I talk about is in reference to my job history and my work experience. Everything. So even though I'm an assistant store manager now, it doesn't mean that some of my videos don't relate or correlate with the LP manager that I used to be, or just in a position of power where I was able to dictate and have a flipping change in a building. And that's what you have to understand. So if you're not going to do those things and you just want me to make videos that are going to potentially help you with one thing, whether that be seeing LPs, seeing the theft before it happens, whether that be how to apprehend, whether or not you should make the apprehension, whether or not your team is building you or deterring you from being successful, all of those things, if I'm really going to break those down, you have to first understand that all of my videos in the past have had something to do with what your job is already. So if you're not able to see that, that's going to be a struggle for you, even if I already go through and break down each video, or I break down the tools that you're going to need to be a successful LP agent. And the very first thing that it takes is the awareness. And I think I say this to a lot of different people, but and you could see like all of the stories that I put in the video before I even started, right? Every single retailer has different kinds of theft. And that's exactly why I want to pertain this to retail. You might not be able to use retail theft indicators for grocery theft indicators, because everything is based off of impulse. And the things that people will do to feed themselves are way different than the things that they'll do to clothe themselves. And a pair of Jordans at a Ross retailer aren't going to be as much value on the street or to a family as a flipping piece of meat. I don't think you understand. Like, people will do what it takes. Like, fuck it, I'll go to jail, at least I'll eat in jail kind of mentality. Whereas from a retailer, they don't really care. Like, they'll dump and you won't get anything out of it. Because at the end of the day, I could go into your building and defeat 100 hard tags and then walk out with nothing, and a cop is gonna cite and release. And it's important for you to understand that from the perspective that you want to get results, right? Yeah, I defeated your merchandise, but I know that each hard tag is not going to cost you or value more than $3 a pop. So at the end of the day, I'm still not going to get you're still not going to get anything of value from that apprehension at the end of the day, because you haven't received any unit loss. Yes, they defeated merchandise. I mean, they defeated sensors, and that's going to cost you, let's say that I did defeat that many, a certain value times the 3. You're not going to get what you're trying to get out of your job, out of yourself, from that apprehension or from that observation. So it's really important for you to understand all of those things before we go into this series. And I really want you to know that these tools are just tools. Every scenario, every situation is absolutely different. If you do not understand that, if you're not going to use it as that, then you still will not be successful, because every situation is different. Meaning this: if I give you a tool, and let's just say seeing the theft before it happens, or being able to spot people that are going to steal, right? Every situation is different. Everybody's behaviors are different when they shop. Everything is different. It's in the moment. You have to feel it. But the biggest thing that never lies, and I've found to be my most successful thing when it comes to LP, is the eyes. The eyes do not lie, especially if you're able to make an observation of somebody without them ever seeing you. The eyes do not lie. They will swivel, they will move, they will look. Even though you have a product in front of you, you will be looking in different directions. You will be aware of your surroundings. You will be looking for anything and everything with your eyes, without knowing that your body posture might be fine, seem like a normal shopper. But if you're able to visually see a person's eyes, they will be able to tell you a lot more than their hands and their body will ever tell you, because some people are just really immune to the fact that that they're stealing. That's just point blank. We all know those kleptos. We all know them, and that is the truth of the matter. So when the situation arises that you might have somebody that's just that ADHD, let's just say, you have to be able to, in the moment, determine that, all right, you know what, I am about to pursue something that might go nowhere, is it really worth the investment? Is it worth the investment? Because time is money when you're on the sales floor, and time is money when you're behind the camera. And when you work in a team or when you work by yourself, the very first observation needs to be at the door, the point of entry. But the second observation that you're going to make on the sales floor is going to be the determining factor whether that's going to go somewhere. And you got to be able to make that judgment call based on the observation that you make. So if you're not really in tune with the eyes, then the only thing that you might see is the body posture, body language, and it might not tell you anything other than this person is selecting. And you're going to invest a lot of time into that selection, especially let's say if someone's looking for electronics, you're going to invest a lot of time into that selection, and you're going to be letting things go by because you're going to have two people invested into that selection, one behind the camera and one on the sales floor. And yeah, I could be using 13 other cameras to see what else is going on the sales floor, but both of our focus is going to be on that one individual. As much as you might want to say that you're able to see 6 people at the same time, I think that 2 or 3 is essentially exactly the most that you're going to be able to really invest time into. Because even if I break down my my CCTV into 4 cameras with four people that are about to steal, I still have to focus and then use peripherals for the other 3. And that is where the issues come in, is that do you really want to invest into somebody that's just displaying I hate to say it, it's because the initial observation might have been some sort of profile that you thought fit. Like, let's just say the indicator was that person didn't greet, or that the person at the door seen that person might have been here before and didn't buy anything. Stupid little things like that. But when we're going back into the situation and you're right there, you have that opportunity to be like, you know what, no, we're about to spend time on this, and this right now feels like nothing. You have an awesome camera shot, just use the camera, let me know if I need to come back, if you see anything that might be an indicator. Opening packages, opening package after package, grabbing selecting a bunch of the same electronics, selecting high value electronics or shrink trending electronics. Let's say, for instance, that you know that your earbuds are a high ticket shrinking out big time. You know that if that person's going in there and selecting 5 electronic devices and they're all going to be, let's say, big headphones, you'd be like, all right, well, that's not the indicating report that we're getting, but let's take a look at it. It's just all about everything visual with your eyes and making sure that you make eye contact with the individual. And it doesn't mean like eye to eye, like I see my eyes, your eyes. No, it means that you're gonna be able to see that person's eyes giving you the impression that, look, he's looking for other things besides the product. He keeps looking to the stairway where people come down. He keeps looking to the elevator. He keeps looking for exit points. He keeps looking up at the camera domes. He keeps looking up at the convex mirrors. He's looking around for any kind of tool that we might use against him in order for us to be able to make that initial observation of him selecting and then moving from department to department to the exit point in which where he knows that he's going to meet his fate, whether it be good or bad, right? In our favor or in his. But that is the truth, right? Everything starts with those eyes, and we're going to break down the tools that you're going to need, but I need you to first understand that everything that's going to be in this LP series is and will always be correlated to the other videos that I have in my daily vlog. I mean, not the ones where I'm having fun with my son, but the ones that have to do with retail and building your team, building yourself, being action oriented, being motivated. All of those things do correlate to you being successful and you moving up and you getting better and growing, and that is the whole point of my channel. So if you guys want me to do an LP series, just remember that everything that we're going to go over, everything that we're going to do needs to be hand in hand with all of the other daily vlogs that have to do with being a regular retail leader, because everything correlates to that membership, that team, that building, all of those things. And I mean by building, I don't mean the actual building, I mean building your team, building yourself, building everything around you through that training, through the effective training, that's what I should put, through that motivation, through that sense of urgency, all of those things that people need to understand in order to be able to perform, because that is the essential goal. Not you being able to make an apprehension. You making an apprehension just means that people are willing to come in and steal from you. Your goal is to make it so that people don't even want to come in when they see you in the building. That's your goal.